All right, so thermal imaging, you guys see me in that screen,
Yes.
right? Orange, red, and yellow. That means everything around me should be blue and black.
Yes.
Now, this thing's going to fluctuate based on what's inside the screen. So the trees above me that are somewhat blue and black now, because I'm in here, are going to fluctuate. So now they should be orange, red, and yellow. You guys see where I'm going with that? So what's going to happen with this guy is we're looking for the blue and black to start moving on its own. Those are our cold spots. It sets a black, cold, white, hot. So white and yellow are going to be your hottest colors. Black and blue are the coldest colors. So with my skin in view, if we get something blue that comes across it, we obviously have something going on. So it's already recording. So Gonzalo, you're going to hold it horizontal all night. It's not going to go in your pocket. Do you see the red square that's on your screen?
No, I locked it.
Do you see the red square? Your hand's blocking it now. So that means it's recording.
Yeah,
so,
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't tap it.
Yeah.
If it becomes a circle, you have to let me know. Your phone's going off.
Yeah.
So if it becomes a circle, just tap it again and let me know. I got to splice some video together for y'all.
All
so
right.
it just takes me a little bit longer. I just need to know ahead of time so I can...
And this thing here is an extra battery?
Yeah, on the back is a battery.
Okay.
So all it's doing is charging the camera attachment. The camera that you're trying not to block is right down there.
Oh, it's this one, not this one.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, got it.
You got it. All right, girls. Who's my chatterbox? Who talks a lot?
She talks a lot.
I like how I pointed you out and nobody else did a word. So, spirit boxes. Now, you guys have seen these on your ghost hunting shows. You guys know what these are? Ghost spirit boxes?
I know.
So it creates white noise. Okay, so it's going to sweep through all of the FM radio stations at a very quick rate. And the ones on the TV shows, they're all static. That's all you hear. And then they give you the phrase that they think that they heard, kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is set up a little bit different. No offense, y'all are amateurs.
Go ahead.
So it is slowed down so that the radio chatter will come through. I want the DJs, the song lyrics, the commercials. I want that stuff to come through. Think of it as Bumblebee from Transformers. Did y'all see that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, Bumblebee talks through the radio.
Yeah.
That's how you want to think of this device. I want you to think of it as Bumblebee trying to tell you something. So I don't care if it's a boy or a girl. I don't care if it's an angry voice or a happy voice. All I care about is what the words say. So I'm going to set it up, and it's going to record. The cool thing about this is that the recording is not going to record any outside noise. So it's not going to record our conversation or traffic, and it's even going to record at an even level when we have it on mute in real time. So once I set it up to record, it'll be recording the radio sweep for us even though we can't hear it. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, it's already sweeping through the radio stations. For infinity is what I just heard out of that. You kind of get where I'm going with this? Now, 50% chance something might actually be relevant. So even if you don't hear anything, it's fine. I'm going to listen to it in the morning based on our hotspots and give you some audio markers to listen for. So you have one button to worry about. There's a little wheel right here. You just want to turn the wheel. Now there's a click button. Don't click that. Just turn the wheel. Whenever I say spirit box is up. So if I'm talking or giving a story, we obviously want to keep it down. If I say, let's go ahead and get that spirit box up and running, you're going to go ahead and turn it up so where it's audible to you. And obviously, if you want to chime in with this, or if you guys want to switch devices up, that's fine too. You guys are all one family. I'm good with that. Normally, if I have multiple groups, it's kind of like keep it within the family.
Yeah.
So, but you guys are all good, right? I'm sure. What's the dynamic here?
Meaning, like
we have cousins. Do we have dad and kids? Like what do we got?
Yeah, dad and kids.
Dad and kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I asked.
Yeah.
You never know. Like last night, you would have thought it was a mom, dad, and two kids. It was a how do I put this? It was an aunt, her best friend, and then her niece and nephew.
Yeah.
So I had, you know what I mean? Like I have no idea what it was.
Yeah.
And I hate to assume anything. Now, just because you really haven't said much, I need you to kind of speak up during this. So this guy, you guys have seen these on TV shows too, right? EMF meters. So this is going to measure electromagnetic fields. It's going to measure 3 different types. They never explain this crap on TV. That's what I don't like about the shows. First off, most of them are fake. So we're going to actually do this stuff in real time. The first one that it's going to measure is naturals. That's why it's not doing anything. It's coming from the earth. The second one is from cell phones, electronic devices, parking meters, those kind of things. It's going to make it go into a rhythm. We don't want a rhythm either. We want this thing to go erratic, kind of like a Christmas tree. So it's not a matter of pointing it out. It's literally holding it and watching to see what it does. If this thing does anything, speak up and we'll try to debunk it. Is that fair?
Yeah.
It's not going to vibrate. It's not going to make any noise. That's why you
If I put like something in front of it, no.
Yeah, so a cell phone.
See a little bit.
Yeah, my cell phone, for example, I'll go ahead and touch it with my cell phone while it's on. It'll make it go into a pulse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of a rhythm there. It's going to go up to orange here again in a second, and that's it. That's the rhythm. So we kind of have to determine what those things are. Now, parking meters, going to make that thing go nuts. I'm not here to lie to you guys about anything. I'm actually out trying to find data, and actual evidence. So there might be some areas where I say, ignore your EMF meter. We're going to be walking on a main street with a bunch of parking meters. So I'm going to use a few tools myself. Of course I am. It wouldn't be a full investigation if I wasn't doing stuff with you guys. So I do have a backup EMF in case for batteries drain. Okay. It happens, but I do have extra batteries, but in a pinch I have an app that actually works. It's not as sensitive, but it does work. So the second thing I'm going to use is a spirit box on my phone. It's going to give us a word in the center of the screen from time to time. And then it's going to save those words into a list. The last tour I had 63 terms. We're going to clear them out. They already have their list, and we're going to start you guys off fresh. 80% of this app is bullshit. Doesn't mean anything. I'm just going to put it out there. Again, my gimmick is honesty. I don't want you guys walking away going, Nick said this was a real thing. So again, if I can't verify why it's relevant, I'm not going to highlight the word for you in your list. You're going to get the full list tomorrow because there might be something in there about you that I don't know. For example, somebody texted me literally 2 weeks after their tour and said, my cat's name is Radar. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. The word cat and radar came up in the thing. I had no idea. How am I supposed to know what the hell this person's cat's name was? Sure. I don't. So, and I already got the word delay, which I don't know why we're delayed. We're actually way ahead of schedule. But again, 80% bullshit, right?
Exactly.
So, sorry for the language, but that's the only way to explain it. The second thing I'm going to use is a reverse spirit box. I debunked this one for you as well. They said it was live FM stations being flipped backwards. I'm a communications major. That shit's impossible. You can't do that. Literally, you can't do that. So what did I do? I recorded it for an hour and I flipped it forwards. I have enough software where I can figure this shit out. So when I flipped it forwards, it was literally just a man and a woman saying random words. Don't know how long the loop is, don't know if it gets updated, don't care because I actually get relevant evidence out of this. Sorry, tongue twister there. I'm going to turn it on just so you guys can get a gist of what it sounds like because that's the only way you're going to be able to hear it is through my recorder. So when you guys listen to your regular audio, you're going to hear this. Okay. And then I'm going to play an EVP for you just so you can get a gist of what it would sound like when something does come through. And it's a legitimate EVP. So here's what it sounds like in real life. Real time. It's going to sound like gibberish. Wait for the traffic to go by. It is low. Okay? No, can't make out anything out of that, right? So, let me go to... So with the EVP that I was telling you that I heard, and this is what came out of that gibberish you guys just listened to. I was talking about a woman from England. Baked beans breakfast. Baked beans breakfast. Did you guys catch it?
The only thing I heard was breakfast.
Baked beans breakfast. So here's what happened. Your spirit box that you're holding said, I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast, and then gave me the word tea on the word list. I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast, and tea. That is a thing in the UK. I had no idea. You can hear my tone of voice going, baked beans breakfast. Like, what the hell? So, again, it's why I look at this stuff in the morning to see where, like, that was a strong EVP that came through that gibberish that you guys just listened to. So that's why I have to look at this stuff as a collective the next day. That was caught in real time. I can't make that stuff up. But that's kind of why I have to go through it in the morning and then give you an analysis. Otherwise, you guys are going to have no clue what the heck you're listening for. So I'll find a few things that might be relevant. They might not. If they are relevant, I'll definitely give you a verifiable link of why it's relevant or something that happened on our tour. So, with that being said, I can run both of those spirit boxes at the same time, which I will. And then, of course, with every location that we go to, I will kind of give specific direction on what to do with each device. Now, our first location is not, it is haunted, but it doesn't have a super long history. So it's a great place for you guys to practice with your devices, which is really cool. And I get to work with you guys one-on-one. What I will probably do is go through your devices a little bit further in depth with tactics, send you guys off a little bit so I can do my thing with, you know, my spirit boxes, get a little bit more audio for you guys to listen to, where you guys explore your devices. We'll catch up in like 5 minutes, and I'll give you more direction. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Is this what you all thought you signed up for?
I mean, I like I said, I don't know what to expect.
Clue,
but
right?
fine. I like
but you have
that.
a cool hat, so we can...
I like it that way. I like it. The last call for codes?
No.
Okay.
Well, there's a story here, of course. There's a reason why we start here, because the place is haunted. So the building that you're leaning on...
Yes.
that used to be called Big John's Tavern. Big John was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. So you also have to remember too, when I'm telling you these stories, I'm emphasizing certain keywords that you should be listening for on your spirit box when you get your recordings back. So kind of keep that in mind too. So New York and Giants are two big keywords. So Big John, he used to sit in the back of the bar while the cadets came over from the Citadel, because it's only about a mile from here, and they would come in and have a drink, but he would tell the bartender if they were old enough to drink or not. One night, two guys come in, they're not old enough to drink. Big John tells the bartender, get them out of here. They leave pissed off, they come back the next night, and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. Big John sees what's going on, they get into a little rough and tumble on the floor, and they start wrestling around. A couple of shots were fired, Big John gets shot in the neck, continues beating the heck out of the guy, goes back to the bar, tells the bartender, get me a beer, go get him an ambulance. Now, nobody died in that story, so what makes the place haunted? The bullet that hit John ricocheted off of him and went into the wall. It said that people that sit in the front of the bar get a little queasy, dizzy, headaches, those kind of things. I bring this up on purpose because I don't know how paranormal activity is going to affect any of you. I have things on me. I always kind of bless the tour ahead of time just to make sure everything's going to stay grounded. If anybody's feeling any of those things, I kind of need to know. It's a big deal. I'm not saying that to scare you. It's a literal health hazard. So that's the only scary part of this tour.
Okay.
I've had people not make it. That's all I'm going to say. So it is what it is.
As in they leave, or?
As in they pass out and have to go to the hospital.
Great, great.
So it is what it is.
All right.
And most of the time, that's usually witches or somebody that practices witchcraft or something along those lines.
The ones that pass out? Oh.
Normally they confess to me the next morning.
We're good.
Yeah.
So just kind of giving you that heads up. So another story here to get us off the focus of our own health. We had a big earthquake here in 1886, which is big for us because we don't have earthquakes. The mantle above your heads also wraps around the front of the building, and apparently a piece of that mantle fell off, struck somebody in the head, and killed him, and that was the first death of the earthquake. Don't have the proof of that. Excuse us. Thanks, guys.
All right, so that fell on someone's head. A piece of that.
Yeah, see the white mantling in the center?
This one. Oh, okay, I thought it was
not
the one.
the top one. Right here. So.
Okay.
Yep. You guys ready to go ghost hunting?
Yeah.
All right, let's head over this way. How long are you guys in town for?
Till tomorrow.
After tomorrow.
Two nights. Day after tomorrow.
Oh. What? It kind of went to like the, kind of like here.
Nice.
It's going to the yellow one.
Good. All right, let's keep walking in.
And do I need to check my camera all the time, or?
So, in a nutshell, you're going to be basically just a cameraman. So,
Okay.
if you want to stare at it all night long, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. That's why I have it recording, so I can review it in a movie.
Right. It's ironic, is what I do for a living. I'm a filmmaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's funny is I usually pick out the one person that's either they have to use a FLIR camera for their job,
Yeah.
or somebody like yourself that
Yeah.
is pretty familiar with cameras and photography and all that stuff. So, where are we? Well, first off, let's start with the EMF.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes the thing doesn't start going off in here until we leave. So, the fact that we got it coming in, that's a good sign. So, you can move a little bit closer. You're good. So, we're just going to kind of keep an eye on it, which is a good thing. So, not every place is going to be...
Nice.
Not every place is going to be that active on the EMF meter. Now, I will tell you that you're standing on top of a gas line. That doesn't mean anything. That means there's no electrical lines underneath us, and you're not close enough to any building for that thing to go off. So you can take that for what it's worth. Now, where are we standing? We're standing at the Red Barn lot. Okay, so this is Palmetto Carriage. This is where we keep the horses for the carriage rides. Okay, so the horses are still in there. So we're going to be somewhat quiet in here, just because we don't want to spook ponies. They're getting ready to go to sleep. None of you have lasers. Those are still in my bag. So we're going to kind of keep it that way. A holiday week with small tours, the lasers are going to stay away. So there is a laser law in Charleston. So I have to be very careful on who gets my lasers, because they will shoot to the moon if I let them. Like they're that strong and that bright. And that's so we can see things that we can't see with the naked eye. They're actually really cool. But they can get Nick in a lot of trouble. So this is the same red barn where we kept the horses that delivered milk to Charleston. So we're going to start with, how do you use your spirit box? Your TV shows are very angry and they're, hey Billy, why'd you kill Joey kind of stuff. We're not going to do that tonight, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stay away from yes and no questions. Reason is somebody here? No. First off, that means somebody's here, because they answered you. The second reason is because if a DJ or a commercial said houses, you think you heard yes. S and O are two of the most common sounds we have in English language. Okay, so we're going to stay away from yes and no questions. There is always a way to reword the question. Always. Just got to use your brain. You got this. So you're focused on me. It shows me you have a brain. So if I give it to a little kid that's bouncing around the walls, I got a question. So we're going to start off with questions that you know the answer to. So tell me what color that barn is.
Red.
It's red. Okay. It's pretty apparent. It's not purple. It's not blue. It's not any of those other things. They must be lighting up fireworks uptown. But you're going to ask, what color is the barn? And then you're going to listen for 30 seconds or so. If you hear the color red,
turn it, like, put it up and...
Yeah. When I'm done telling you how to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to listen for about 30 seconds. If you don't get an answer, ask again. You got to give them time to muster up energy to tell you, or wait for the word to come through the radio that they can use to tell you. It's not always going to be a disembodied voice like you hear on TV. Okay, those are very, very good. So when we do get them, yeah, it's exciting. But a lot of times, we don't want to be near the person that has that much energy. So with that being said, and even if you don't get the answer after 3 or 4 times, ask another question. At this point, I've already told you this inside the barn. So we're in horses, but they're also animals. They deliver milk. And they also pull irritants. So you now just open up a whole can of worms of what you could be listening to. A bunch of terms or phrases that might be relevant. That's going to be a lot easier for anybody that's here hanging out with us, through the internet, as you can see, that can actually give us an answer. So that's the kind of stuff I want you to do in here. We're not going to spend a ton of time in here, just because this is basically, like I said, practice. So with that being said, this isn't where I told you guys what home this was, so feel free. I want you to go ahead and turn it up, and the two of you go ahead and just kind of wander and wait for another hot spot, because I do want to go over some more things with him on the camera. But just just stay in the lot, stay in our vision.
Okay.
So again, it's a weird week down here, so I want to keep everybody in sight. So go ahead and start wandering, find another hot spot, start asking questions. If you get close to that barn, just make sure it's audible to the two of you only. Don't spook the ponies. Fair? Okay. All right. Thermal imaging.
Yeah.
So point your camera at that wall and tell me what you see.
Yeah, just red.
Just red. Watch what happens when I get in the picture.
Yeah. The
now it
wall
all fluctuates.
blue.
You want to try to keep a person in view at all times.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The reason for that, I got the word proposal already. Let me mask up so I can show you this video. Kind of give you a better gist of what you're looking for. So, my 14-year-old is usually on the tour, but she went back to her mom's for a few days. So
that would have been cool.
She loves this. Half this stuff used to be hers.
Really?
Yeah. When I left my 6-figure job to go be happy, I took her stuff back. So this is the next spot that we're going to. And what you're seeing here is this orange is a wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see the two living people walking by, how they're the color orange. So let's fast forward a little bit. You're gonna see 2 dead people right there.
Oh. Okay.
So this guy right here was always in view. That's not me. So there it is again. Black, black.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you're kind of looking for those darker spots to move on their own. That's really what we're after. So go ahead and team up with them. And the reason why I bring people here for the camera is because you have all kinds of different material here. You have metal, asphalt, foliage, wood, brick. You have all kinds of things. So that way you kind of get used to what it looks like. But go ahead and listen in with them. So that way they get a gist of how to use that thing. Have you heard anything yet?
No,
you got that scared look on your face.
Static and music, that's it.
That's what you want. So even if it's a song lyric, if it's somebody singing something.
Yeah. No, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. 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 Like, I don't
But
background music.
Yeah, but even if you do hear a song lyric, that could be something. You see where I'm going with that? So if somebody's singing about horses, and you say, hey, this is like a woman, and they say, riding horses, we got the word horses.
Okay.
So I'm happy with that. Like that's pretty solid stuff.
Okay.
So kind of keep that in mind too. Look at that, it's telling me to move. It's telling me to move.
Go. Okay.
And then let them do their thing and learn about the device.
What's inside the barn? What's inside the barn?
Go to somewhere there's activity.
We are. We were. Yeah, like right here. What's inside of this barn?
Rewind by 5 seconds.
Are the horses cold?
Give me a... Are the horses cold?
Yeah, you have to ask questions.
Did you get anything out of it?
No, not yet.
You got a bunch of EMF going on there, don't you?
Yeah. I heard a little country part of a song, like a little, you know, the rhythm, but like for like 2 seconds.
Okay. Well, again, it's just a matter of what words are we hearing. So,
Yeah.
and again, if it goes the whole tour where you don't hear one thing, it's all right. I'm going to give you audio markers in the morning. So, again, it's not the easiest thing to listen to.
Yeah, it's really not hard.
Yeah. Turn it up just a hair so I can hear it too, and I'll see if I can help you. Right there, perfect. Right here, something alone. Tell us what's inside the barn. Names of others. Good time.
I just got to hear that.
That was weird. Can you tell us what's inside the barn? Wild. They don't panic. You see where I'm picking these up?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
none of this might not mean anything,
Yeah.
but they don't panic. Right now, they're pretty calm. They'd be kicking the walls if they were pretty upset.
Yeah.
Revelation chapter 20.
Yeah.
If that's about horses,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
There could be a horse named
But
Revelation.
it could be about the horsemen. That's why we carry computers with us, right?
What did you say?
Second thing, second. Hotel?
I mean, I'm just, you know, and replace the window.
There's a lot of parts to chapter 20. I have to go through each one. That's research for the morning. Alright, so do you have the gist of how I'm listening to it though?
Yeah.
Alright, you guys ready to go learn some real history?
Yeah.
What I'm going to tell you with your camera is that
Yeah.
we're going to go to another parking lot, but there's probably going to be cars in there.
Cars?
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so people get real funny about cameras in their cars. So you're just going to kind of hang out and hold a cell phone, and not be filming.
I see.
Do you see where I'm going? Like, you're a photographer or a cameraman,
Yeah.
you know this stuff. All right. Look at that. Show respect to their cars. I'm always going to try to link something to what's happening around us.
Ellie, you getting it? Getting anything? No, right now there's no one. See?
Friends are here. I want you to keep in mind that back corner over there, that big pile of blankets. So we're going to stick to this top half up here, stay out of their way, be nice and quiet. Because again, we get too loud with stuff, they get a little real grumpy.
Right.
So this is the Eliza and Charles Pinckney mansion site. So we're standing where their mansion would have been, and then Eliza's garden would have been lined up with that first tree there on the left, and it would have went all the way across. And then their servant quarters would have been in the back. So who the heck were Charles and Eliza Pinckney? They had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. The son and nephew were signers of our Constitution. So pretty big deal. However, I hate politics and it's 2020. We're going to move on. Nobody likes politics. So Eliza married Charles at a very young age. Keep in mind, this is where Baked Beans breakfast occurred. Also where the video occurred that I showed you. So that was over there in that corner. And I heard the Baked Beans breakfast actually on this side of the lot. So take that for what it's worth. Get a lot of activity out of this place. So Eliza married Charles pretty young. Her dad was overseas in England, back home, and he thought he was sick. And he wanted all of his kids home. So she didn't want to go. So she got married and she stayed here in the States. It didn't give her citizenship, but pretty much solidified that she wasn't going back home. So at any rate, Dad got better, and she, oh man, he's getting up. Awesome. Definitely going to stick up here, for sure. He's not normally awake at this time. But anyway, so Dad starts sending gifts over from England, and one of those gifts happens to be the plant indigo. Indigo is a plant that makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. You're wearing it right now. That's how we use it. So it's a pretty big deal because her slaves that she owned knew how to cultivate this plant in our weird temperature. So you feel how cold it is now. Obviously, most plants don't grow in this kind of weather, but they knew how. So once our rice plantations went downhill, they moved the plant from here and took it over to Snee Farm in Mount Pleasant and made it a huge cash crop, pretty much saving Charleston and all of the colonies. Now, because she used Dad's contacts overseas to make it an import or an exported crop. So it's a pretty big deal. Now, Eliza, you got a lot of activity coming out of that. So I want you to also keep in mind, between the Red Barn lot and here, those are my big hotspots. So as far as the EMF goes, when we get spikes from here after, I'll tell you if it's from the parking meters, or I'll tell you when it's time to get really excited. Now that's going off pretty good, which is awesome. It's a good sign. A couple weird facts about Eliza we can ask your spirit box. And we're probably just going to stick together so we can stay out of this guy's way.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. So she goes by her maiden name, Eliza Lucas Pinckney.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we can say, hey Eliza, what's your maiden name? And she'll tell us. I already gave it to you. I normally don't give the answers out. Sorry, I wait for the spirit box to tell us. But Lucas. But the first wife did the exact same thing, Eliza blank Pinckney. So it also starts with an L. That's all I'll tell you on that one. We can ask what happened to the mansion, which is usually pretty easy to figure out once we start poking around in questions and listening for a few minutes. You can ask anything you want to about Eliza's death. So how old she was, where did she die, how did she die, where is she buried, and which U.S. president was a pallbearer at her funeral.
Wow.
So I learned that from doing this tour, believe it or not, and the answer came through for me again last night, which is always exciting when it does, and it came through on my spirit box, and it was the word that came across. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's the 4th time I've gotten it, so I was pretty excited. So with that being said, we're going to definitely stick together with him being awake. Again, I don't feel safe sending you guys off in the lot. Sorry about that. Normally this is where we separate for a good 10 minutes or so. Because if I were to have an actual finale, this would be it. But I don't want to take away from the Big Johns and kind of give you guys that warning about, some people don't make it through all the way through the tour. Usually it's after this location with all the EMF that they're just like, no, I can't do it. So the EMF affects people in different ways. So again, we're going to spend a good 10 minutes here, but I'm going to stick with you. Let's turn that spirit box up and let's see what we can get. And which questions do you want to ask first? You're going to ask the questions. I already know all the answers.
What happened to the mansion?
There you go.
Loud
Turn it up
or
and
like-
listen. You can turn it. Oh yeah, he can't hear us up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
What happened to the mansion?
Probably turn it up a little bit more. We're definitely in a hot spot. That's why I just want to stay right here because the EMF is going berserk. See a little bit of a rhythm to it, but not much. Where's your cell phone? Okay. And you don't have a smartwatch on? Hey, you're okay. You can leave it on. I just want to know where it's at. The smartwatch is not going to make that thing go to ring. Eliza, can you tell us what happened to your mansion that was here? Use the box with the red lights on it. This one right here.
Try to be smart. Try to be.
So alone.
Store today. Request.
Christmas carols. Come on, Eliza, tell us what happened to your mansion that was here. All right, let's try to move on to another question.
About the president.
What was the question?
Which president was a pallbearer in her funeral?
Huh?
Eliza, what president was a pallbearer in your funeral?
I'm watching mine too. Heard something twice.
But what else should be?
Thought you were supposed to be the chatterbox.
Huh?
He said you were the chatterbox.
Yeah, you're supposed to ask questions.
I'm waiting for the answer of the one you asked.
Oh, ask another one.
Trying to listen, I can hear anything.
Ask about the age, maybe?
How old she was.
How old she was
Oh,
when she died?
what was her name?
Eliza.
Eliza, how old were you when you died?
You said one, so.
Eliza, how old were you when you died? 17? No,
There's a 7 in there.
right?
70.
Oh, 70?
She was 70? 70?
Which is funny because that's not the first time somebody told me 17. I'm like, no, it's like maybe they were just trying to get 7B out of it instead of 17. So I've had the number 70 show up several times. So let's go back to the president. Let's see if that pops up.
Okay. Yes, Eliza, what president was a pallbearer when you died, in your funeral?
A pallbearer?
Pallbearer.
Pallbearer, actually.
Yeah,
Okay,
pallbearer.
Eliza, what president was a pallbearer in your funeral?
The boss had you.
Come on, Eliza. Tell us who the president was at your funeral. Even the first name will do.
More money than ever this holiday.
It's funny. Tomorrow is Eliza's birthday.
Really?
So the number 22 shows up here quite a bit.
Accused headaches off.
Well, I heard 2020.
And headaches.
Huh?
No, it said headaches.
Headaches, which is common for here too. Eliza, can you tell us when your birthday is? At least what month? I'm not getting anything on my word list either. It's not moving as much as I hoped. English. We'll take that. She was from England.
To find one NFL and
That's probably part of the 80%. There were no executions here.
Can I ask how he died?
Yeah.
Eliza, how did he die?
Are you cold? We're still close to your car, I bet. If you want to go back and
Yeah.
get your coat.
No.
I see you dancing around.
diamonds to red.
Diamonds direct.
We get back a lot. Alright, Eliza, we're going to move on. Can you tell us the answer to any of those questions we asked? Your birthday, how did you die, which president was at your funeral?
St. Norman? No.
Pretty girl.
Yeah.
Chad Perner.
Kids always recognize the songs that are coming through
course.
before they realize what words they're hearing.
Really, but you don't have to point at this. You can point.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting enough. Like, you're doing your job.
Station she was.
Eliza, can you tell us how you died?
By chipmunks. I got the word heart,
Heart?
but that's not right.
I heard a bunch of twos.
You heard a bunch of what?
Twos.
Twos? Like the number 2?
Yeah, number 2.
So, you gotta remember, this was colonial times. All the reports that I have say that she died of breast cancer, which I don't know how we would know that.
Sure.
So, heart could be the truth. Just telling you. But I've had the word cancer come up here several times before, too, when that question was asked. So,
What about the president? I'm super curious.
Look at what Patrick.
What?
Patrick, no?
nope.
Can you tell us what president was in your funeral?
Who forgives for the
I need you to. They're coming.
And sorrow.
Sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
More chipmunks. Alright, you guys ready for the answers? I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to get anywhere. So, Eliza died at the age of 70 from breast cancer, as you guys know, in Philadelphia. And that's also where she's buried. She's buried in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
So, the president at her funeral, George Washington.
Wow.
So I've had George Washington come up as an EVP several times, and last night the word Washington came up. So take that for what it's worth while I'm still here. You know what I mean? And it's always in this location, so it doesn't show up anywhere else, which is really cool. The mansion caught fire on the second floor, right where we're standing, from the Great Fire of 1861. Now that would have been after Charles and Eliza's death. So, but they still know what happened to the mansion because obviously she hangs out here.
Mm-hmm.
So the words fire, flame, burning, any of those kind of things show up all the time. What else did I have you guys ask? Eliza Lucas pinked
Oh,
me
it's the birthday, but
on December 22nd. And then the first wife was Eliza Lamb Pinkney. Lamb is in the animal, L-A-M-B. So Lamb and Lucas were some terms that I've gotten in the past too when those questions were asked. So we're gonna walk up East Bay Street, about 4 blocks. Might be a little windy, so hands in pockets. If you want to listen to your spirit box, I want you to listen for names. I'm not going to tell you which names, but I'll explain why when we get to Lodge Alley. Your EMF's going to go off because of the parking meters. You can probably almost pocket it or just ignore it until we get to our location. By all means, keep filming.
Sure.
You know, doing what you're doing. I mean, obviously, normally I have you guys like all spread out
Yeah.
throughout the line, but just to keep us safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go take a word men. So let's take a hike up here.
All right. So, are you from here?
No,
No.
I'm originally from Ohio.
Ohio. Wow. I've never been to Ohio.
You don't want to go up there.
No.
There's nothing going on. It's way more exciting down here. Especially for what I do for a living now. There's no point for me to go back up.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much have the whole city to ourselves tonight.
Yeah, we got here. Oh no, we got here today. We were in Savannah last night, and it was very quiet.
Was it?
Yeah.
At night too, or during the day?
At night, and today during the day it was a little better,
Okay.
but last night was really dead.
Huh. Did you guys do any tours in Savannah? Yeah, a ton of tours down there.
Not ghost tours. No, we went to the cemetery actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have Graham as your? Did you have a tour guide?
No. We just, since we were just there for a few hours, we just tried to do just like sightseeing as much as we could.
Got it.
Actually, I was in Cincinnati once.
Oh.
Now that I
And
remember.
I've never been to Cincinnati.
No?
I lived on the eastern part of Ohio,
Okay.
like right on the Pennsylvania border.
Okay.
That's where I live.
Yeah.
You can see Pennsylvania from my backyard.
Uh-huh.
Like that's how close we were.
Yeah, now we drove, so it's funny how fast we got to South Carolina from Savannah. Like we drove out, it was like 20 minutes, it's only like, welcome to South Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not far at all. I've taken a weekend down there with the wife.
Yeah.
What's funny is day after Christmas, we're heading to Orlando.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to Universal. So, my daughter's Christmas present this year.
To go there?
Yeah, we had plans for the summer, but obviously they got canceled.
Sure.
So,
I have a bunch of friends that have been to Orlando in general, and even like Busch Gardens during the last couple of months, and they say it's wonderful because there's no one there.
yeah. Well,
Like
my
it's-
wife's been watching all the tweets because Universal, like, they have a limit. So they
Yeah.
text out when they're at capacity.
Uh-huh.
So it's been at like 10 and 11 every morning this week.
Okay.
So people are going
They're going.
for holiday time.
So I guess the word is spreading that it's a good time to go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, in here it's supposed to be sunny.
Let's see. You getting anything?
I'm not weak in here. This is
Yeah, yeah. So if you do get anything in here, it's exciting. So this is one of those spots that
I see.
I get a lot of activity from besides that. So see how steady it is right now? It's coming from here. So like you're by a electrical line. So
Uh-huh.
it's coming from the hotel.
Do you hear any names?
I heard Timothy and either Bart or Martin.
Oh, when you have friends too? Friends? No? Oh.
I heard Peaceful Christmas. People.
What was the name of the general that decided not to destroy Charleston? Was it a general? Like in Civil War, that's why this city was never untouched. Was never
Turn
touched.
that off.
Yeah, that's why this city was never destroyed in the Civil War.
Been through enough wars though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was one, like some general came in and said, this city is too beautiful. This town is too beautiful to just
My
just
wife
keep
would
going."
probably know that
Yeah.
because she's studying the Civil War right now for school.
Oh.
All right, so welcome to Lodge Alley. This is one of the oldest streets in Charleston. So as you can see, it's just wide enough for a horse and buggy. I don't know why somebody's parked here. So
You needed a parking spot. I guess.
apparently, they're probably just part of the neighborhood that we're going to cut up through anyway. So we'll just be careful as we go alongside his vehicle. But this is where people used to live. The reason why I asked you to listen for names is because people used to live here. There were little shotgun houses, like little small houses that were here. And I have the full list of names of every person that's ever lived here. So what's really nice is I get the names Benjamin and John a lot. Now there was only 5 people living here in 1801. 2 of those people were Benjamin and John, and they usually show up together either between my spirit box or yours. So again, I'll be listening pretty close in the morning, but you did give me some names. I don't have the list memorized because there was 70 some years of people that lived here. So I'll definitely be looking for Timothy, Bart, and what was it?
Martin.
Martin. Yeah. So I'll definitely be listening for those and to see if they're actually part of that list. And if they are, you'll definitely get the full list to verify it. The Masons used to meet down here. And there's all kinds of mess that used to happen down here. But the people that lived here were considered low class. Like they were just poor. So the city of Charleston, like the peninsula, used to be much skinnier because all the stuff on the edges is all man-made. Like we built it out. So with that being said, those buildings we see down there wouldn't have been there. So the smell of low tide would have come through here all the time. You guys are from Florida, you know what low tide smells like.
Yeah.
So these people, this would not have been a very happy place to live. They did do an archaeological dig on these clay bricks. These are 1600s. And they found some of their tools and their silverware, some of their clothing, and that's how they were able to consider them lower class. So again, I do get activity in here with if people are taking pictures. I get green orbs all the time, moving around. They're never in the same spot. I have video of it just kind of moving around and then wisping away. Like there's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens here. Now the EMF doesn't usually spike. It's weird that you're getting as much as you are, but I still think that it's coming from the hotel behind you. So I'm gonna, because it seems too steady for it to, it's not doing anything crazy. Like the word shirt. We were just talking about their clothing. So I want to see if part of that clothing was shirt. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever had an article of clothing show up here. So I'll dive into that. The hotel over here, every hotel has a claim of a ghost. None of them has a claim of a ghost. They all say they have a ghost. They don't give me free rooms to verify them. So take that for whatever it's worth. Now, Savannah, you guys just came from there. That place is completely haunted. Everywhere I went down there, I had activity. So I do my own investigations. You can read about them. Where did you guys stay at in Savannah?
No, we stayed a little outside of the true hotel by Hilton or
So you
something.
didn't stay at like a historical place?
No, not at
We
all.
went
No.
to the cemetery.
Oh no, we went to the cemetery for
I
sure.
mean,
Yeah.
like, which hotel did you stay at?
No, yeah, no, the hotel because we have a dog, so we need to find some place that's dog friendly. So
I do the same thing. Well, mine are support animals. Like,
Yeah.
I have, with my epilepsy,
Yeah.
I usually have a support. He just doesn't like people in my bubble. So it's fine when I take him everywhere else but my tours. He's just a little dachshund, so he's a little short little guy. But, like, even when I go to Orlando for Universal, like, I don't pay for my animal to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So if I were to fly, he goes with me. So, but we're driving, and the hotel doesn't charge us, and he goes everywhere with me. So, pretty cool. Anyway, hopefully we get some more names as we've been standing here and it's still recording. We are going to cut through a neighborhood, so we're just going to kind of be 4 friends cutting through because tour guides aren't allowed to be tour guides in neighborhoods. And then we're going to go up and learn about a bunch of other places all in one spot. So it's going to be a one investigation at the end. I say that, like as far as the building and our tools, but there's a lot of really cool stories up there of places that you guys, how long, you said you're going to be here 2 more days?
tonight and tomorrow night.
Okay, so if you guys are going to be downtown tomorrow, like there's
For
definitely
sure.
some places you can walk through during the daytime, like Dock Street Theater and things like that, and you can actually look for ghosts. Now, all of the tools and the apps that I use will be at the top of your data page. So, like, if you want to use this spirit box and rock around with it, the EMF one that I have, it's really cool when you're in haunted cities like Savannah and Charleston. So, again, I have the paid versions. Oh, the word bell. What time is it? So, in 12 minutes, the bell tower will go off. It goes off every hour from St. Philip's. So, normally I'm here when the bell goes off, but we started early. So, we're about 15 minutes earlier than the way we normally start. Because you guys showed up early. Thank you. It's a big deal. Alright, so let's walk up this way, and then I'll take you up to all of those other crazy places that there's all kinds of activity from.
You scared? Yes, you are. No.
house is down there. Like that's the cutoff line where we came up. I'm not let it go that way.
Oh. And do they really like enforce it? How do they find out? Yeah.
We got a new neighbor in town. I usually like there was a little lot right there that I would take you guys through, and we would go to another alley.
Yeah.
There's a new neighbor down there, and he doesn't like tours coming down there.
Oh.
So I had to reroute my entire tour
For that person.
for that one guy that just bought a new mansion down there, and he's not happy. But you bought a historical home on a historical alley. What did you expect? So, but this yellow building, this is all Lodge Alley, or Lodge Alley Inn. So, room 304 in there apparently is haunted. That's the rumor anyway.
Do they let people stay there?
Hopefully, I'm going to, because I made some friends there. So hopefully I'll be able to get in. But I'm still going to have to pay partial, hopefully, just partials.
Okay. It's better than
Yeah.
full.
Well, the goal for me is actually to have a store down here where I have a haunted, like the apartments upstairs. I'll rent those out as a hotel,
Oh.
and everybody will get a kit, an hour with me to learn how to use them and set it all up. And then I'll have a hotel manager that uploads everything for me in the morning. But downstairs will be a retail store, so it'll sell ghost hunting equipment and books. So yeah, this is one of the most beautiful places in all of Charleston.
Oh, wow.
So if you guys want to come down here tomorrow and take pictures, bring the wife, mom.
So this is Philadelphia.
This is
okay.
Cumberland. This
Cumberland.
is Cumberland Street. So East Bay is at that light down there.
Uh-huh. That's where we were.
Yeah.
But do you know what building you want to be at already?
So this brick one up here in the corner is one of them.
This
I'll tell you
one?
what's going on there, and the place where we started. So it's probably not going to happen for at least 2 to 4 years,
Yeah.
just because of the pricing of real estate down here. I mean, this building alone would probably cost me about $4 million.
Really?
Yeah. Just to get it out of the hands of who has it now. Yeah.
What about the bar then?
The big red barn.
Yeah. No, the bar. That,
Oh, the bar. So that one's probably going to be about 2.5.
That much? Is it big?
No. It's location, location, location.
Yeah, but I see this one is better located than that one, isn't it?
Wait,
Yeah.
because the market's right there.
Yeah. So this is.
It's way better
A better
located.
spot.
But I'd also like to have it where my tours start. So when I sign my guests up, I shut the store down and I take my people out, because I usually start at 7 and then I have a tour at 9. So I go 7 and 9. In the summertime, it's just 9 o'clock because the sun doesn't go down until 8.
Yeah. Ellie, have you got anything? No?
I can't believe there's not one other tour out here. This is blowing my mind.
Do people leave a lot
What do you mean?
for holidays?
No,
Like
they
people-
come here for holidays.
But people from that live in Charleston, do they leave or
Yeah.
they stay?
They stay. Trust me, they are here. I see it all day long. All right, so we're gonna be brief here, just in case another tour comes by, because they love this spot, and we're gonna head over to the parking lot after. But I do like to tell you guys about this sign. The sign says that there's no ghost at St. Philip's but the Holy Ghost. There's a reason for that. They put the sign up because in 1888, a woman by the name of Sue Howard Hardy died 10 days after her stillborn child. In 1987, 99 years later, we had a local photographer around taking pictures of our cemeteries, and he caught a full apparition of a woman wearing a shawl and a baby basket hanging over that grave. Now, 1987, you guys probably weren't even born yet. So, no cell phones, no Photoshop, no any of that stuff. So he sends it to Kodak. That's a company that used to make cameras.
Used to make what?
Cameras.
Cameras, yeah.
Okay, so you guys know what Kodak is?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
that was me making a joke because you're so young. So,
Yeah, but I'm their dad, so they should know.
Yeah,
No,
Kodak.
no,
Yeah,
I know.
They
I've
should
heard of
know.
it. I've
My
heard of it.
bad.
100%.
so they send it to Kodak. Well, he sends it to Kodak, and Kodak can't even debunk the picture. So it is what it is. I don't show the picture on my tour because, of course, it's cursed. I'm very superstitious. It is said that females, it says heavily, females that hold the picture will start to not feel kind of the same symptoms I told you about at Big John's. Females that are pregnant holding the picture will not have a good pregnancy. I'm not cursing my tours. If you guys want to look it up on your own on your computer screen, just don't be holding your phone looking up Sue Howard Hardy. So that's the name. It's on your audio in case you forgot it. So that way you guys can look it up for yourself. I'm sure Dad's going to be looking it up later.
I will.
It's actually a really great picture of an apparition, so it's legit. So, with that being said, let's head across the street. I'll show you guys the different sides of the different cemetery, and we can look into the powder magazine. Man, is it quiet out today. I know, I take you guys to all the best parking lots in town. No, I'm kidding. So again, you have to remember, I don't do a sightseeing tour. This is ghost hunting, so it's not always the pretty sights. So the building I told you about, the brick one there on the corner, I couldn't stop and tell you the story of the place because it's residential. The place behind it is apartments. But that place used to be called Bocce's Restaurant. Bocce's is haunted. The doors don't stay shut. They don't stay locked. And the mirrors like to fall off the bathroom wall without breaking. So my experience with mirrors, they are portals. So if something is causing it to fall off the wall, that mirror should break. But if they're in the middle of coming through it, it's going to hold it together. So that's why it would be consistent with it fell on the floor and didn't break, because something was holding together as it came through it. So take that for what it's worth. Let's see, the other pieces that we're looking at. So there's two different sides of the cemetery. So the western side of the cemetery is on the other side of this wall. That side that we were just looking at is for native Charlestonians only. So people that were born here. Okay, so John Calhoun, one of our vice presidents from here, is buried on this side because he's not originally from here. So I don't know where he's originally from, but they moved him several times trying to figure out where he's supposed to be. So he's in a sarcophagus. Do you guys know what that is? Kind of think of it's a tomb. So it's a stone coffin that they keep above ground so people can actually go and pay their respects. His sarcophagus is on this side. You can go visit it. So during the daytime, it's pretty cool. On the other side of the cemetery, going that way, we have a house called the Pirate House. So you can't miss it. It has a big anchor on the front of it. Somebody does live there, which is why I can't take you there. But that's where Blackbeard's pirate, his men would come in off the ships. He would stay behind and watch the ships. They would go have a drink, meet up with a few girls, go catch a play at the Dock Street Theater. The reason how they did that is because they dug a tunnel. Really weird. It's like the wind was just right there and nowhere else. Anyway. So they dug a tunnel from the Pirate House underneath the street over to Dock Street Theater, which is a full block away. So when you guys come walking down here tomorrow sometime, you're going to see how far away it is. We just filled in that tunnel in the 1990s. So I told you all of those little things because St. Philip's Church, where the big steeple is tied to a ghost over at Dock Street Theater. So Dock Street Theater, this used to be Dock Street. It's no longer Dock Street, it's Church Street because the church, obviously for the size of it, could not move when they widened the road. So Dock Street Theater turned into a hotel called Planters, and then that's when they changed the road and moved it around the church. And then it became Dock Street Theater that we know now. So there's the history of Dock Street Theater. But the ghost that's there was a young lady that worked at the church. Her name was Nettie Dickerson. Nettie, she's seen what was going on down there at Planters. She was past the marrying age of 17. Nobody wanted to marry her. Yeah, imagine that. So she was 23, nobody wanted her. So she goes down and gets a job as a prostitute down at Planters. She's the best loved girl in the place, but she's still not happy. So she used to go out to the second-story balcony, and she would ponder about coming back to the church. The priest sees this one night, and he goes down to talk to her to come back. Well, the storm rolls in, lightning strikes the wrought iron banister that she's leaned on, and it kills her. Now, they say you could see her ghost from the knees up only. So remember when I told you it was a hotel, then we turned it back into a theater? We raised the first floor ceiling. So that means she's walking on the floor that she knows. So you can only see her from the knees up. We only raised it by a foot. So it's about a foot up underneath. That's why you can only see it that way. It took a guy like me to figure that out. So I wasn't the one that did it, but it was a guy like me. So the other ghost you could see there is Junius Booth. Junius Booth was the father of John Wilkes Booth, who shot Lincoln in a theater. So Junius Booth was a traveling actor at the time, so this was also the same time that Edgar Allan Poe's mother was a traveling child actress coming through Charleston. So I don't know that she's ever performed at Dock Street Theater, but she would have been in town roughly around the same time. So now we're going to look at this building where we can use your tools and gadgets. I like to give you all those little stories ahead of time. And she's like, hell yeah, let's get going. So with this particular place, this is the powder magazine. This is the very corner. So Charlestown, when it first started, was within walls. We had very limited space. And it was called Charlestown after King Charles. So this is the very corner, coming up of the one wall, and then it went out this way down towards the battery. You're going to see that when you guys go walking around tomorrow. So up there in the corner, this is where they kept all the gunpowder to keep it safe. Why? Because it's the furthest away from the water, and it's the furthest inland that they know how to go into.
Okay.
So it has 32-inch thick walls. I mean, giant.
Wow.
Okay, so there's 8 pillars that go around the corners, and then there's one groin vaulted ceiling inside. So there's one pillar inside, and they all come down and they meet in the middle. So that's why they call it a groin vault, because they arch. Okay, so the roof that you see is filled with sand from 1712. This is the oldest government building we have in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713, but the sand was to help in case it did get attacked by a cannonball. That blast would stay contained inside the building, and it wouldn't affect anybody else. That's why the walls are so thick, and the sand will keep the fire down. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's never been attacked, but it did serve in 7 different wars. So, but it's never from start to finish. Also, you have to remember, St. Augustine and there was one other, Savannah, like we were all connected with Beaufort, and they would move the gunpowder around. So the gunpowder may have been here for a month or 2, and that was it. So that's how that went down. Let's get a little closer, and I'll tell you about what ghost is attached here now. Now that you know the history of the place. I want to see if we get any EMF out of it, because this is a place where this is new for my tour. So I'm going to give you the very skinny of what I know about the ghost that comes here. I'm actually meeting with somebody when I get back from Orlando about who knows the entire history of this ghost. It's a female pirate.
Female pirate.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not a pirate person. That's why I didn't even like bringing people up here, because I didn't get the connection of why she's here. This is a powder magazine. She was a pirate. So her name was Anne Bonny. Anne, her dad married her off. His name was James. So I'm giving you clues of things to listen for on your spirit box. So James, she wasn't really in love with this guy. So she fell in love with a guy named Calico Jack. He was obviously a pirate with that kind of name. Jack had a ship, and she wanted to be part of it. So she dressed up like a guy. She got on the ship, became part of the crew. While she's on board, being part of the guys, she meets another female doing the exact same thing.
Oh.
Her name was Mary Read. So we have Anne Bonny and Mary Read, 2 female pirates on the same ship. The ship gets taken. So everybody's tried and hung for piracy. But the 2 females claim that they're pregnant. So, with that being said, their trial was, well, they were tried on November 28th of 1720, 300 years and some odd weeks later. That's where we are now. But their hanging was delayed because they claimed to be pregnant. A little bit of moral value, right? So with that said, how did this go? So Dad was from Ireland. Anne Bonny's father was from Ireland. That's where Anne was from too. But Dad was a big prominent politician and had lots of money. So he paid her bail and got her out. She lived a very long, healthy life, got remarried again, and had a couple of kids, and she died at the age of 84 that we know of. Now, Mary got stuck in jail and died a year later. I don't know if the pregnancies were true, false, if they were just claims. I have no idea. So, I'm here to hopefully try to find some truths out of this. What have I gotten out of this so far? I've gotten Anne's name before several times. I've gotten November 28th. I've gotten the number 300. I've gotten the number 84. So it's 300 years after their trial, and Anne Bonny lived to be the age of 84. I've also gotten the word blue bottle out of here, which is kind of it's a spirit thing. So they used to hang blue bottles on trees to scare ghosts away. So I've gotten that here. That was last night. That was very interesting. But I've gotten a lot of weird terms. Pregnancy. Oh, I got save my child here before.
Wow.
Yeah. Very cool. So very interesting stuff that we're going to hopefully listen for. So let me see where we're at. I mean, I don't really care about time, but it's, yeah, so we've got a good 10, 15 minutes that we can spend here. So we got a little bit of free reign. We're not bothering anybody.
Yeah.
Their window's closed, so you can turn your spirit box up, kind of pace back and forth, ask questions. You literally, I want you pacing back and forth and wait, tell me when you get a spike in anything. Anything off that green to me is a spike in this location. So keep filming, obviously. If you want to hang with them and continue asking questions, I'm going to, because we're definitely in a safer spot than we were.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do my own thing with this guy. We'll see what we come up with. Maybe something matches. Also keep in mind, we have 5 different pieces of audio going. So we have 3 spirit boxes, his audio and my audio. If you ask a question, I could get the answer and vice versa. So a lot of times when I separate from you guys like this, I might ask a question I didn't tell you about. So if I say, how many people did I bring with me? And you turn around and you say, I heard the number 3.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Okay,
It's
yeah.
verifiable evidence that I have something intelligent here with us. So kind of keep that in mind. So we're going to collaborate, keep track of which questions you're asking. So stick together. I'm going to go the opposite direction you're going. So which way are you going? This way or that way?
That way.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go this way then.
Okay, I'm gonna follow them. I wanna hear Ellie ask.
Ellie.
Isa ask.
What was her name? What was her name? Bonnie and
Annie?
Mary. Annie.
Annie, are you here?
No yes or no question.
No, we don't know. Dijo no. Try to find something.
Why was the hanging related? Still weird.
Ven para acá.
Annie, how were you able to get in the ship?
Ellie, walk somewhere else.
Annie, why weren't you able? Annie. Annie, how was you able to get in the ship?
Ve, ve. Ah, no, es la planta. It's a plant.
That's why I said to come.
Super calm. Super chill. Go that way, find something. Go near the cemetery.
babies were expecting. And how many babies were expecting?
Pregúntale si está aquí. Huh?
Give me a question.
Annie, are you here?
No yes or no question, Francie.
They brought him into
How many babies were expecting?
No. Alright.
Brutus now, Bonnie.
Bonnie, in what year did you die?
Stuff. Our team can call yours.
Bonnie, what year did you die?
They say 14.
1914?
It just says 14.
Wait, did you say 1914 or 14?
Dealing with whoever she was in love with. I've gotten the word love, I've gotten the word young, and then the phrase "my love" just came through on the reverse spirit box. So have you heard the name James or Jack by chance?
No.
I think I heard the 14, the number 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we asked, what year did you die?
It wasn't 14. I want to say it was 82, so it would have been 1882, I think. Again, that's why we carry computers. Again, I don't know this whole story in and out yet, so I'm hoping that my evidence is going to keep leading me.
I asked a question, something about, what did I say? What was the, how did you get on the ship? Something like that, and a song came out saying I was a girl. So.
Hmm?
That's
Like
pretty
Beyonce,
cool.
I think.
We'll take it. And I was wrong. It was 1782. So we're talking a long time ago. She was born April 22nd. So there's that damn 22 again. So the funny thing about 22 is obviously we have Anne Bonny, who was born on April 22nd, but Eliza Pinckney was married at 22 and she was born on December 22nd. So the number 22 comes through a lot on my Taurus, as you can imagine. So now that I know her birthday, I'm glad we're getting to spend some time here, so I can definitely listen. So again, I was a girl is pretty cool. Like that's definitely some solid stuff on there.
Ellie, anything?
It went to the second one for like 1 second.
Oh. Sigue buscando.
Yeah. It went to the second one for like 1 second. It was around here, but I didn't get it again.
You see how it just gives us a little blip from time to time? That's what I mean. It's not consistent. Again, we have to kind of consider the way the building's constructed. We do have an air conditioner sticking out of it, but this is a pretty thick wall right here. I don't know how thick this back wall is because this is kind of like a courtyard on the other side. But I don't know that there would be anything electrical. Maybe it's not a courtyard since there's a damn air conditioner. Now there's a courtyard in between these two buildings, but there's also a passageway to get to this building. They're all connected.
I see. And what's in there now?
It's a museum.
Okay.
So if you're any kind of war buff, you can go in there and see a lot of the different wars it was involved with, and a lot of them probably tied on to St. Augustine.
Yeah. Yeah, St. Augustine has a couple of museums that explain really well. There's one that explains really well in general, like the history
Yeah,
of
this
the
is
area.
very general.
Yeah.
It's like a $5 entry fee. It's a small place. So it's literally like you can walk around a room, like the size of these 2 parking spaces to where I'm at now. That's it. And it's just got all the different uniforms. It's got like the wall plaques to tell you what happened at each war.
I
You know,
see.
those kind of things. It's very, very simple. I have a season pass here because of their bookshelf. Like they have books here that I can't find in other
I
places.
see.
So I'm in here at least 4 or 5 times a year just checking out to see what's new. I love how she's crawling on the ground, dude. That's great. Love it.
Ellie, anything? Oh, it's spiked now.
I did see a little.
Yeah. It's Annie and Bonnie, right?
Anne and Bonnie.
Anne,
Now,
okay.
she just asked if she was pregnant, and I got the word daughter.
Oh. Isa.
I got your answer.
Huh?
You asked if she was pregnant.
Yeah.
You owe me a milkshake now.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's something.
What happened?
Huh?
What happened?
I asked if she was pregnant and it came out daughter.
This is the stuff I live for. See? I told you it wasn't a scary tour.
Nah, yeah, well, it's real.
It's real stuff. Again, my gimmick is honesty. So, I'm not going to make shit up.
So nice.
Yeah.
Stars out. Beautiful.
Well, apparently you can see Jupiter and...
Yes, I saw that today, some phenomena,
yeah, they're
but
lined up. Apparently you can see it really good right at dusk, but I've been watching. I haven't seen it yet.
yeah.
There's Orion's
It's
belt.
funny, like every year they say like this phenomenon is one in 500 years,
yeah.
and there's always a new one.
Well, this one apparently is called the conjunction.
Yeah.
It actually has a name.
Oh, I'm getting here.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
I saw it too. Where did it go? That's crazy. See, there's nothing there. So,
Yeah. She got it again.
hold it where you had it and see if it comes back in certain intervals. Wow, Orion's belt's actually showing up in the picture. That's really cool.
Oh, you got one of those apps that
Yeah.
show the.
It's just, I wanted to see if it would show up.
Oh,
Look how clear
Yeah.
they are.
yeah, it is.
I use this stuff for advertising.
Yeah.
I got to throw my logo on there and throw it up on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. Still nothing? What did you just ask?
You want to marry Jack?
I got the word soon.
Isa.
I got the word soon.
Sing?
Soon. You said you want to marry Jack,
Yeah.
and I got soon. That's why I asked. What did
Yeah.
you just ask? So ask something else, and let's see how she's reacting here.
And what was the other girl pirate's name? Annie, what was the other pirate's name? They're incredible. Oh, here, I got the I want to go and see the other ones as well.
I keep getting it here.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's someone behind you.
Stop.
Okay.
We have enough recording for me to go through. You got some blips over there, which is good for me to check out. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and get Dad my card so you guys can at least check out my website ahead of time.
Sure.
And then I'll obviously walk you guys back to your car because I'm parked over there too.
All right.
Unless you guys were going to hang out somewhere else.
No, we don't have anything planned.
Okay. And then I'll start collecting your devices.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys can ask me a million questions. So Dad's my card. Good. You